having competed in a lot of different combat sports, would you agree that probably Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and a lot of people don't know this, tends to draw the most, I'll just call them nerds?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of really nerdy people in Jiu. I guess it might be more, since it's more of a thinking, and nerds tend to think more than other people.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Exactly. I can see Poindexter yelling.
Oh,
right.
yeah. And it's empowering for nerds, man.
Oh, yeah.
You can see, the skinny nerds are like the toughest guy to roll
yeah.
with on the mats. People don't know that because they've been fucked with their entire life.
Yeah,
and they have been on the internet and getting those guidebooks and training and drilling, and they're ready. It's like, not tonight. Not tonight.
Well, like, let's
yeah.
look at like two of the most vicious jiu-jitsu fighters in the world right now are like the Meow brothers.
Oh, God.
Like they look like their math skills are just off the fucking
chart. Look like tech support. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like tech support.
Hey.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And you try to grab those guys, they roll under you and spin 360 degrees
everybody.
and flip you. And yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's like they're doing astrophysics in their head.
Yeah.
So you're into some nerdy stuff, though, man.
Oh,
Seriously. And by the way, we're all pretty nerdy. I'll get to that in a second. But you were really into Magic the Gathering, the card game.
I used to play Magic, yeah.
But competitively, like you were all about it, huh? Like,
no, we had like groups of people, like 4 or 5 people, and that would get together and play.
Yeah.
So
Oh, just real quick, because just in case, like, what is Magic the Gathering? Just in case.
It's a really nerdy card game, pretty much. It's kind of like, I view it more.
Is it like Pokemon?
Yeah, but a little
is
cooler.
it like Pokemon?
A little cooler. It's a little more
but it's a
upgraded.
lot like Pokemon without cartoons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so basically, if we're playing a game, JC and I are both sorcerers with magic powers. I'm not kidding. And we have 20 lives each.
Yep.
And so, using our powers of sorcery, we summon magical creatures and cast spells and attempt to destroy each other, right? That's the game. Which sounds really cool when I describe it that way.
It's similar to chess, really. I mean, it's still like you moving pawns and trying to. It's just a different strategic style game.
I mean, I played like video games that are similar to that. So I mean, like, where does the line get drawn? Are you a nerd if it's on a card game and not a video game?
That's a good question.
You
played the Zelda games, huh? You played the hell out of them.
Love Zelda.
Right, like you mastered those.
Fucking love Zelda.
That's good stuff.
Yes.
I think it's more like video game nerds call those card players nerds, and the card players call the video gamers nerds.
Yeah.
I think it's more one of those. Everyone's pointing a finger going, yeah, well, you're nerdy.
Right, like,
Yeah, no, I was definitely I still am very nerdy. I read comic books when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I had
still get comic books.
Oh, yeah, which are cool now. It's interesting the way that turns out. But I had a real problem with video games because I guess if you're drawn to this kind of thing like martial arts, you need to be compulsive.
Yeah.
I was playing them too much, and I was suffering from what we call nerd rage. Nerd rage.
Nerds!
Which is difficult to describe, but how would you describe it? It's like basically...
I've heard you nerd rage.
My roommates have heard me just shout. It's ridiculous. And by the way, I'm shouting at a computer. There is no microphone.
So no one's even hearing
No,
you.
I'm typing as I'm shouting to like a 15-year-old.
Just lock the cat down.
It's really bad, man.
Yeah, he has no...
Yeah, no.
Well, no, he's playing as like Koreans who can't even speak the same language. He's just like...
You can't beat the Koreans, by the way. Listen, let me tell you about that, dude.
That's what they do.
Oh, man. So the game I played was Warcraft 3.
Yeah. Which I fucked with him for so long about being World of Warcraft. It's not the same thing.
I
really
played
upset
World of Warcraft.
Okay, yeah, so it's different.
Different breed of nerd. Now, let me explain that one of the things that pisses off a nerd more than anything else in the world is being mistaken for the wrong type of nerd. So, like, if you mistake a Star Trek guy for a Star Wars guy...
Dude, don't you fucking call me a Star Trek.
Yeah. Oh, he'll fight you. He probably knows jiu-jitsu, so don't fuck with him.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I played... basically, it's a military strategy game. Like, you build a base in an army, and I feel like you're very emotionally invested in this game. Because, like, you build this city, this base, like, step by step, and when it burns to the ground, like, you nerd rage, and you all caps, and you shout, and... Yeah, man, that was unhealthy. And it was taking too much of my time, so I just stopped playing video games for a while. And then I kind of relapsed, and my problem got a little worse.
Video Gamers Anonymous.
Man, because before, I was nerd raging, and I was isolated from people in person, but at least I was, like, interacting with a real human being at some point. Then I started playing a single-player game. called Torchlight, which is very similar to Diablo. here's how this works. You go into the dungeon to kill monsters, to buy magical weapons, to kill more monsters. Yeah. And repeat until you have no social life. That's basically it.
So you completely forgotten what vagina looks like.
Yes, exactly. Until your virginity comes back, which I didn't think was possible. Yeah. Your innocence returns. And my character was so powerful, though, dude. My character was godlike. Like, monsters would just run. Like, I would just, like, throw, like, flaming meteors at motherfuckers. Here's when I knew I had a problem, though, was that I was nerd raging at the game, like there's no person there. Like, it's basically like you shouting at like a Nintendo cartridge or like arguing with a blow-up love doll. Like, it's ridiculous.
Nothing being
this is when I bottomed out. When I hit rock bottom, I was in my room and I was drinking something caffeinated, and I got to one of the final bosses. And in the game, you go to a sequence where the boss like smack talks, like ha 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 ha, and I swear to God, I'm not kidding. This is exactly what I did.
Were you responding?
I had my drink and I moved it out of the way. I got determined, and I'm like, all right, come at me, bro. Let's do it. Like, I'm not kidding, dude. I said, come at me, bro.
That's awesome.
It's the same way. It's like two guys outside of a bar at like 2 a.m. Like, yeah, like, dude, I did all that, and then I kill his ass. I fucked him up, but.
That's the important part. At least you won.
Oh, yeah. That was so one-sided.
Yeah, because he never let you live it down.
No,
right?
no, never.
Such a wait.
Yeah, but wait, actually, it doesn't matter
to say one thing.
Just like that character in The Legend of Zelda doesn't really have any emotional response to. Yeah. So anyway, I'm playing less the video games. Yeah, you know, man. You so World of Warcraft is your thing?
Yes, that's.
What? Tell us about your character, JC.
Oh, it's really not that exciting. You just stab people with swords. Same thing. Like any other game. Repeat. Kill people. Buy cool stuff.
Do you have a favorite Star Trek movie?
No, I'm not really a Star Trek kind of guy.
Okay,
while we're on the topic of video games, something came to me the other day that really pissed me off. Well, it aggravated me about, and it's something I have against Zelda. Like, on Zelda, you have a boomerang, and you throw the boomerang, and it comes back. You see a ruby, you throw it, it catches the coin, it comes back.
Yeah.
It's like, if that fucking game was real, you'd lose that boomerang in the first time you threw it over some water, it'd be gone. Because I've never seen a boomerang come back. No. I bought boomerangs. I bought them as a young kid. I'm like, and I'm thinking as an adult, I'm like, maybe these are just shitty boomerangs. Maybe I always had shitty boomerang. So I bought like a good one on Amazon one day.
No,
I fucking threw it. It just
How much did that cost?
I don't remember. It wasn't. I think even a good boomerang was like $35 or something.
Really?
Yeah, but like, it was fucking worthless.
Well, it's the same thing as why are these slimes in the middle of the wood just carrying gold coins? Same thing. Like why
what are they? Yeah, great question. What are they doing carrying gold coins? Yeah.
Who did he rob? Strange. This is a raccoon.
Where do they spend them? Do they go to the bar? They're like,
I got 4 gold coins and a shield.
Rupees.
Rupees. Yeah. What are you doing with rupees? You're a squirrel. You don't need them. You just eat acorns. What are you doing?
Post Katrina, though, man, that's how the economy's gonna work.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah, it's
gonna be
coins,
have bottle caps
and
bottle caps, man,
and primitive weapons we can use to fight off the zombies. And again, those cosplay guys with the weapons will just dominate.
Oh, LARP. That's what they are.
LARP. Holy, now
what does LARP stand for?
Live action
role play. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The guys who will be our overlords.
Which really, I mean, wouldn't really be realistically dressing in armor and fighting with swords.
It actually would. It actually is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it would be. It would be way more fun.
Honestly, if you make fun of them, you're just being a hater because it actually looked like they had a fucking blast.
Yeah, for real.
The only thing I thought was kind of funny was when I saw one of my buddies on the. They made a video and put it online, and he shot an arrow. And he shot the arrow, and he's like, I got you. He's like, can't pick up my arrow. I love that part was like really funny to me. That was the one part that was like, oh.
That's awesome.
But, you know.
I feel like if you kill another character, they should have to drop coins or something.
Yeah,
that should
or like blink and then disappear.
Yeah.
There.
Are we good?
Second sticks. Yeah. All
right, on. So here's what I do want to say about nerds, because to me, nerd is a term of endearment, if I didn't make that clear. It's a bit of a compliment.
Well, it's really shifted over the years. You know, like it used to be. You know, that was like a derogatory term. And now, like, even my daughter's like I'm a nerd all day long and like proud of it, loves it. So it's just kind of changed over the years, you know.
Oh yeah.
See, that's my point. Is I feel like nerds are into stuff that's cool and that everybody is doing before. They're just forward thinking. They're ahead of their time.
Right.
Like at one point, having a computer. Yeah. You guys would have been the weirdest thing. Like, you have a computer, it takes up half your garage. Like, why? Are you a scientist? Are you building a robot? I used to read comic books. Yeah, not going to get you a lot of dates in high school or middle school, but now all of the comic book character movies are huge.
Right.
Yeah. That's the thing. Same thing with the World of Warcraft. Everybody's playing it. Do you know what really World of Warcraft, like all those types of games, they're all Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, all the which I played as a kid also.
Yeah, okay.
I'm that nerdy.
I kind of right.
Deep roots and nerd.
Oh, you are a trench man.
Oh,
you are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so moving on to something else totally obscure. You're very active on the social media, right? And
way more than I should be.
Yeah.
A lot of downtime in between training and teaching.
Yeah. Well, at least you're not shouting at single player games. So
no, it could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. But
instead he's shouting at Christians.
Yeah, which is amusing. It can be amusing.
I was gonna say, and because I follow, I don't read like all the articles you post on social media, but it is interesting because you tend to post and discuss things that are very contentious, that draw a lot of controversy. I feel like you just kind of like the debate. You like the argument.
It's that, and it's the stuff that like people say you never discuss politics and religion.
Yeah,
those are two of the biggest like money making corporate structures on the planet. Why would you not talk about them?
That's you need to get a rise out of.
Yeah, you know who started that? Politicians and church leaders. They're like, no, you don't talk about politics or religion because we're just going to sit back here and keep on making money. And
and those are usually the top. Most of the things you post
they need
to address those two topics, politics and the things that people, and they get a rise out of people because people really do respond, man.
But it's the same thing as like, video game nerds versus card playing nerds. Like anytime there's different groups, groups of people can't like in any way whatsoever get along. They're like, well, they're a different religion than us. Down with y'all, we're gonna kill y'all because that's
So I'm getting
just fighting against other groups.
So you're not a big, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. I don't want to overgeneralize, but. From what I've seen of your posts and what I've just kind of heard speaking with you, you're not a big fan of the whole concept of organized religion in general. No. Is that fair to say?
Because it is. Yeah, it's been like the front for all kinds of evil and corruption and like money making and genocide. So, it's kind of like saying because same thing. Everyone's like, well, look at all the good religion does. Like I'm sure Adolf Hitler did a lot of good too. But no one's still like holding on to Nazism. Well, there are some people, but they're not,
Right.
It's a bunch of dumb white people, so they're not getting into power anytime soon.
And you're from the South, right?
Oh yeah, born and raised.
Right, so this is not a popular point of view necessarily down here.
Not the whole Bible Belt.
No, it's the Bible Belt for a reason.
And it's whatever. Even if people want to be religious, it's the organized like. They like go to church on Sunday, so they think they can point fingers at people, and just no reason.
Now, I hear what you're saying. Do you think there's sometimes a danger of overgeneralizing a little bit, like as far as kind of putting all people of faith in one broad category, or are you just looking at this from a macro point of view, where it's like the sum results, I guess?
Yeah, you have to point out the bad if you're like the wrongdoing needs to be addressed, which I'm not. It's not a generalized, it's more the organized religion. It's, what they do, and guys are like, well, we're just spreading the word of the Lord by, like going to third world countries and like, hey, we got food if you come in here and listen to us talk about Jesus. Now take these books, we'll be back tomorrow to tell you about Jesus and bring more food. If you don't want to talk about Jesus, you don't get food, which is
how I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. But that's why the biggest upshoots of Christianity right now are in third world countries,
right?
Like South America and parts of Africa, and like they go to places where people don't have food, and they're like, we'll talk to you about Jesus, or you start switching over to Christianity because with population, more powers, more numbers, more money, more power, so which I'm sure Muslims do and Jewish do and Buddhists do it too, but
Right.
Now, looking at the root of this, though, I wanted to ask you about just the whole concept, not even just really, but just of faith, of sort of, and this is a very, very broad idea, but basically sort of believing, confiding in an ideal that is not concrete and that you can't necessarily prove, because you're involved in competitive sports, and especially something like fighting where your state of mind is so important. So is the whole concept of faith necessarily a bad thing?
I mean, some people need it. I don't. Like, I don't.
how ridiculous is that notion though? Like, if there is an omnipotent God out there, what does he care about your MMA fight?
Yeah.
Like, aren't there bigger fish to be frying there? You know,
well, they kind of allowing you to catch a football. Like, gotcha, buddy.
Yeah,
line with the leather, like.
The faith I was talking about, necessarily faith in God, but just faith that, okay, I'm going to win on this day. I'm going to perform, which to some extent is a bit of a leap because it's, especially maybe you're the underdog. Maybe that if you're looking at the situation completely rationally, you're overmatched in this particular competition. Yeah. But you have to just believe in something that's not, is albeit doable and more realistic than maybe some other things. But
that's putting like a different cover over like... And I actually had this discussion with Musin from, he's another longtime MMA fighter, Jiu-jitsu practitioner, Muay Thai, But it was a whole talk of good luck, bad luck, which is the same thing. Yeah. Like good luck, bad luck is allowing, to take excuse like, oh, it was bad luck. No, it was your fault. Or oh, it was good luck. No, take credit for what you've done. Yeah. Same thing. People aren't, they want to have like an outside excuse for either way instead of like, no, I worked my ass off. That's why I won this fight.
Like, there's no such thing as a lucky punch or lucky submission.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you threw it. And you hit it. Yeah. Right. You were throwing that punch to hit him.
Yeah. So are you saying anytime we turn off our critical factors, anytime we're just not using our faculties of reason, that's a bad thing? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
In your point of view?
Yeah. You need to. Yeah. There's no reason to stretch outside of what's really going on.
Now, I don't think I take the same position as you exactly, but I'm from Houston, Texas, which is the land of mega churches, man.
Oh, yeah.
And my issue with this is the money that goes in. And I'm not trying to talk about all churches, all people of faith at all, but I'm saying that in Houston, Texas, there are stadiums. Yeah. There are like these palaces. There's so much money being made. Do you know who's still big in Baton Rouge? I didn't know this a few days ago.
Jimmy Swagger.
He's literally 3 miles down the road.
Yeah, I drive by all the time. There's a hotel, a massive church, a massive parking lot, like both sides of the road. That's like Jimmy Swagger's block in the middle of downtown, or in the middle of Baton Rouge.
But that's amazing to me. That guy still has a radio program. That guy still, he has followers after all that. After he made a bunch of money and told a bunch of lies and spent the money on big cars and mansions and hookers and jewelries. Yeah. Please ask for forgiveness. Now he just changed his marketing angle. Like he's just taking a more subtle, more humble approach. It's incredible to me.
When you live in down south, especially, and I'm not saying it's just down south. It's a geographical thing overall, in my opinion. You're programmed to think a certain way, okay? And like I was brought up as in a very, I'm not gonna say my parents were like angels, but we went to church and I was taught that you were supposed to do this and believe in this and I believed the hook, line, and sinker up until probably about 5 years ago when I was like, wait a second, I don't believe any of this. This is crazy. But the weird part about it was I had to cross a bridge there because I felt guilty for feeling that way because I was told if you don't believe these things, you're a bad person. You're going to hell. You're gonna burn in a pit of fire forever because you don't believe in this fairy tale. And a fairy tale that I'm not a smart. I'm not a genius by no means. I see some flaws in the logic. Yeah. Some big flaws in logic. That I just can't turn a blind eye to anymore. It's so bad. And the reason I think people still support people like Jimmy Swagger or whatever their flavor of the month church is because they feel that they have to be accepted, or else you're going to become an outsider. Social media is like a great example. I cannot tell you how many people I see on there on Saturday night with cups in the air, throwing up the deuces, getting selfies, smoking weed and snorting cocaine on Facebook, and and then the next day they're like hashtag getting my Jesus on, healing place, what Lord save me, and it's what is going on here? Is that how it works? You go out and get fucked up and wasted, and then you wash it away on Sunday.
That's the loophole.
Right.
That's the loophole in the law.
You just hope that you don't die in between Saturday night and Sunday morning.
Look, I've had the conversation with a reverend that Gandhi, hell. Gandhi's in hell. He did a lot of good shit for people. Doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah,
Gandhi's in hell. Yeah. Hitler, Christian, he could be in heaven.
Wow.
Yeah, he was forgiven for all of his shit because he was a Catholic, I mean, he was supported. The whole Nazi regime was supported by the Catholic, by the Catholic Church.
Right.
So technically, he fills the loophole by asking for forgiveness, and he's been washed away with the blood of Jesus, so he can go to heaven. But Gandhi can go to hell.
As crazy as that sounds, though, it does give us a clear set of rules, and it kind of gives us like order and what otherwise would kind of be mayhem. Yeah. And I think that's what draws people to just, I don't mean religion, but just a lot of ideas that maybe give us those answers. Because if you think about it, there's a lot of things about just being alive and being a human being that are kind of different to process. Like, we all have to die.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks,
it's gonna happen.
You gotta die. So what happens when you die? And what if your entire life here is just a flicker and a giant nebula of mayhem, and it doesn't really have any deeper meaning? It's much better if our lifespan has a purpose and a meaning, and there's a set of rules.
We feel we need it.
But what if there isn't? But a lot of people, I think, are just uncomfortable.
Well, it's chance
with that uncertainty.
Well, probably in a certain time there was probably religion was needed for order.
Yeah,
for order. But like I don't know, bicycles, like, we've evolved. Like, you don't have to have a horse and buggy anymore. Like, you have an automobile, and like now you have laws in government. Like, things have just kind of evolved. And I think maybe there was a time when this was prevalent and needed to happen, and then that was that. Like think about back in the day. Like if you look in the Bible, like Paul was like the Gentile. Like, he was like the non-Jew. You know what I mean? That was like trying to reel everybody in. But nobody wanted to be Christians because they all had to cut the skin off their dick, and nobody wanted to cut the skin off their dick. Like, if you came to me like, burn in the pit of hell, or I cut the skin off your dick, you're like, how hot is hell? Like,
slow it down, buddy.
So it's like I'm not really knowing if I'm down with that. So he's like, let's change these rules a little bit, and like moved a couple words around. Next thing you know, like, everybody's like, oh, okay, you don't have to cut the skin off my dick. We're good. Yeah. Just if you're born, we'll have to do that. Okay.
Yeah, just at birth.
It's just like ridiculousness.
Well, at one time, and it was to start way before Christianity, like, people thought they needed to know why the sun went down and the moon came. So they thought a guy on a god on a chariot, like, went up and took the sun down and then brought the moon back up. And that was just like the pre-evolved state of religions.
Right.
Because people don't know why things are happening, so they need a reason.
They need an answer.
And even though that science is like providing all these answers now, they're still like, but that's a theory.
Well, it's just like when UFC 1 happened, and like all these people that have been studying traditional martial arts for so many years, like, got their mind blown. They're like, wait a second, this guy Royce Gracie, like, with this jiu-jitsu stuff, like, this works so much better than our fake martial arts. But like, how many of them are still drinking that Kool-Aid because they've invested so much time into this? So you're not just going to let your empire fall. What if you've been running a taekwondo school and that's your just like, what if you're a preacher and that's your income? You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? You're like, oh, I'm not sure if I believe in this, let me go work at McDonald's. No, you're going to keep that money rolling.
And it's the way that the human brain works. Like, if we're told something that is not our core belief, like, our brain functions saying, no, that's not true.
Right.
That's not what we already know. So
just change.
The danger there is, I think people can really take advantage of you.
Oh, yeah.
If you're willing to turn off those, we'll call them critical factors, those I don't know about that kind of thoughts.
Which we're taught not to have. Like, that's shut down in kids. Like, no, don't think for yourself. You want to be a...
Right. And that's how cults recruit people. That's how cults... Which, by the way, I'm very fascinated with cult leaders and cults in general because of the psychology of it. Because... you know what it is? It's like every cult leader, every cult is following the same playbook. Yeah. It's amazing.
Well, most of those are con men. They're just bringing dumb people to them. They know what they're doing. They're playing the game.
But they play the... I don't know. If there's a manual, I want to see it. I want to download it.
The majority of them, like, once people go to kill themselves, the leader's usually like, oh my God,
no Kool-Aid for me. Too much sugar.
Yeah, I'm trying to lay off, keep my figure.
Do you know who one of my favorite cult leaders is? Just because I feel like it's a good teaching point for how the whole system works. You guys remember David Koresh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember because Waco, Texas. I grew up in Houston. Oh man, now that is in some ways a great American success story. Not that I agree with what he did, but I'm just saying there are things you can learn from con men, from people who are very dishonest. So first of all, do you know how David Koresh took over? Like, why he was in charge of the... A lot of people don't know this.
I don't know.
Oh, this is a remarkable success story. So the leader of the Branch Davidians was an elderly lady. I think she was in her early 80s.
Yeah.
So David Koresh started hooking up with her, dude. He started banging this 80-year-old lady. And again, say what you want about him. How hard would you be willing to work for a job promotion?
Yeah, I don't know if
I mean,
I might just keep
depends on the level of this promotion.
Okay, see, look, you would have been a gamer.
He bit the bullet. He bit the bullet.
So David Koresh, not like once, like on the regular, he was knocking the dirt off this 80-year-old lady. It blows my mind. Like, how do you do that? Like, what do you get in your truck and you're driving to her place and you put on your like mixtape of motivational songs and then you get there and you don't even mix the Jack Daniels. And you take off her clothes and it's like a big garbage bag filled with cottage cheese and you just dive in and you have to act like you're into it. For months, dude.
What, did you say garbage bag full of cottage cheese?
That's how I visualize this happening.
Oh, man.
I don't know if she was obese, but I feel like it adds to the story.
You know, I feel like he's put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
He's like, Phil, he's actually, what are you doing with $500 worth of cottage cheese? Look, I'm just doing research to see if I have what it takes.
To be a cult leader.
To be a cult leader.
Yeah.
Starting down at the bottom.
And here's the amazing thing about that cult. This is, by the way, David Koresh, one of the greatest. And you're in sales, so you have to appreciate a master of his craft.
Yeah, he was good.
If you were in the Branch Davidians, all right, here's the deal you would sign. This was the arrangement. Okay, so David Koresh could fuck your wife, could fuck your daughter. You had to take a vow of celibacy.
What?
Again, dude, I used to
lined up at the door.
I used to have a hard time selling people cell phones. How do you...
Right.
Again, talk about a great salesman. Like, I would have liked to have been in the room as David Koresh was, like, explaining this to some new recruit and heard the negotiation process. Is it like buying a car where, like, you know, one guy makes an offer and the other guy counters and the guy with the strongest frame of mind?
Not my daughter.
It's like, well, okay, David, you can bang my wife and my daughter, but not on a school night. And then, like, David is probably such a shrewd negotiator. Yeah. He's like, I hear what you're saying, Howard. But the thing is... I am Jesus.
Yeah.
And Jesus wants to bang your daughter on school nights. I'm so glad we had this talk, Howard. It's been great working with you. Seriously.
Do you want to go to hell?
All right, buddy.
Yeah. This talk is reminding me of someone who wants to go to hell. It's like either fuck your wife and daughters, or you can go to hell. This
and there it is, Howard. All right. See you tomorrow morning.
Yep.
You're a champ. Yeah.
See you on the fields. You've got weeding duty in the garden.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Get at it.
I feel like this the trick that cult leaders do. You'll see this in the martial arts world sometime. Now we kind of rip on like guys who are into combat sports. I think maybe unfairly we kind of rip on people who are into traditional martial arts, which I'm not against.
Because it is an art. It is.
It's their own thing, man. I'm not against that at all.
And it's just been morphed into something else.
Well, there are people who are blatant frauds. Have you seen on the internet? Have you seen the no touch knockout guys?
Yes. Amazing. But I'm practicing.
Are you?
Yeah.
Have you seen George Dillman?
I don't know if by name.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about? Big, it's difficult to describe until you've watched the video. Big, older dude, pudgy guy.
Oh, like
big
the 70 stripes on his belt?
That's him. That's him.
Human.
It's amazing because he can knock you out just by touching you, but then he can hit you with invisible chi energy like the Hadouken or whatever and knock people out without touching them. And people believe it. Like, he has
They actually go unconscious when he does. But it's, mind control.
It's almost kind of sad. It is, well, hypnosis. I've been to a hypnosis show.
Yeah.
I saw a video though where there's some jiu-jitsu guys that went to one of his things and they like snuck in there. And they like went up there and they were like, and the guy's like touching them and they're just like,
they look more confused than anything. Like, what's supposed to happen?
I've seen news reports where the same thing happened. Like they went to do it to the news anchor woman. She was like, no, and he was like, oh, you have to believe in my bullshit for this to really work.
That's exactly what
it still didn't work, damn it.
Oh, you guys are talking about, it was actually the same video where it was a local, it was a Fox News, a local Fox News station. They went to investigate. And this is funny as hell because the lady who was the anchor, the reporter, was tiny. Like, she was not a big woman. So she put on, like, her karate gi, which barely fit, like, a lot of white belts. And she shows up, and Dillman's there, like, kind of touching her on the head. And at one point, this is my favorite part of the whole video, he gives her he does like a crane beak, like a David Carradine kind of thing, and really beaks her hard, like bop. And he's like, "Did you feel anything?" She's like, "You just hit me."
Yeah, I did. I felt your finger smash against my forehead.
Yeah. But I think what it is, man, it's just I'm so fascinated with this guy because I'm just into con men, and I don't know if that's a good thing. Because I don't want to get conned. And I watch his seminars, and you can kind of see the psychology at work because everybody in the room, or 9 out of 10 people in the room, are not physically strong.
Right.
They look like the kind of people who maybe don't feel very empowered. Well,
like we said, nerds are attracted to martial arts.
Right, right. But sometimes for the wrong reasons. Sure. And they just really, really want to believe in this.
Well, they get... In a year, they get, or 2-3 years, they get a black belt, and they have this fake sense of like security.
Right.
There's like, I have an X-Men superpower, and now I can do this.
Yeah. Which
doesn't always work in real life.
Kind of sad, but kind of funny too. I mean,
it's hilarious.
I actually trained twice with a guy that was a black belt in ninjutsu, and the whole time you were sparring, we sparred MMA. He's like. Doing this fun stuff.
That's like this to me before.
Yeah, we all.
There's a guy in town. I'm not gonna get into names, but like I remember Tim was telling me. Tim Crater, my instructor, told me that he went to his academy when he was training one time and saw a certificate on the wall that said like certification of mastery of invisibility. It's like,
wow.
How the fuck does that work?
Yeah. Invisibility?
Like a certificate with a seal on
it. We need those.
I'm not invisible. I can't get one. I don't know. You bought the Harry Potter cloak? I mean, I don't know.
Who teaches in this gym? We have no idea.
Where is he? Right here.
Horrible trying to fucking watch him teach technique.
Yeah, it's like, can you show that again? Because I can't fucking see you.
Yeah, you put on some clothes, please. Something.
Put a fucking sheet over you. Something.
Now you look, at least be a ghost.
Look like you're learning from the guy from Pac-Man. You know, like, but yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Is it like League of Shadows thing where you like throw a smoke bomb
and
you're not actually that's what I'm guessing.
But I would imagine it would be something like that. I'm sure there's ninjas. Yeah. I'm sure there's ninja shoes involved in it.
Probably grappling hook because you always have grappling.
I have a grappling hook.
I want one.
Do you?
Actually.
Oh yeah.
Really?
How do you not have a grappling hook?
Yeah.
Is this a zombie apocalypse thing?
No, but like think about what's the coolest.
He's got a boomerang too.
Like when you were a kid. Yeah, a boomerang too.
Yeah.
When you were
I totally made my own kid.
I have a ninja sword.
Yeah.
Like, there's like when you were a kid, like how many times did you see cool shit with grappling hooks? How do y'all
American Ninja 1 through 14?
When you're adult, people want to know why you have a.
I can get on a roof like a nugget.
And when you're adult, people want to know why. That's the thing. So
yeah.
I
guess so.
Yeah.
Who cares why?
Not as
hard. It's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should try to use that. That could be like a thing.